Welcome back to our fourth section of this discussion of art and education in Athens. And this has some interesting, somewhat convoluted sentences in here. But we talked about earlier at one point how German stylistically can do a lot that English sometimes cannot do, just because they're the layering of ideas through subordinate clauses. And sometimes you can express certain things, say abstract things in the areas of, say, philosophy or music or whatever, through that sort of way of expressing. So sometimes the more complicated sentences will actually reveal more of the treasures or the gems of a author's thinking. So it's and we have one or two sentences like that here as well. So anyway, let's start ahead. And as I read the sentence out loud, I want you to Daniela will repeat after me, and please read out loud where you are with her, so you get a sense of the flow of the language. And then I'll ask her questions from time to time, and please be thinking of what the answers would be yourself, so you can also work together with us in uncorking or unraveling these sentences. Okay, let's start from the beginning, and we're going from here, mention, all the way down to haben, and hopefully 7 to 9 minutes. It won't be 7 minutes, it'll be 9, maybe 10 minutes. Okay, let's go. Mention, what is this? Hold a second, hold on, sorry. This is where we're starting right here, not here. Okay. Für sehr wichtig hielt es Sokrates, everybody,
Für sehr wichtig hielt es Sokrates,
dass die Menschen nicht nur Verstand und Körper, everybody,
dass die Menschen nicht nur Verstand und Körper,
sondern auch ihr Gewissen, ihre Seele bildeten.
sondern auch ihr Gewissen ihre Seele bildeten.
Okay, so Daniel, where's the verb in the main sentence or main clause?
Hielt,
Hielt, yeah, it's from
hielt,
halten. That's right. And what's the subject?
es,
No, it would be Socrates. So Socrates maintained it for to be very important. So he held it to be very important. That whatever. So here you have, and the method is to put a box around the verb, underline the subject, and then circle a direct object or accusative if you find one there. Okay, that, and then where's the verb in this relative clause introduced with das?
bildeten,
Yeah, and how would you translate that? With a pronoun?
they formed,
They formed, yeah. Build means form or shape. So we'd say they formed, and what's the subject? Now that we're looking for a plural subject.
dimension,
Good. Dimension is the subject. So the people formed, and um, and where are the direct objects?
um,
There are actually four of them.
Verstand,
Hmm.
Körper, Gewissen, and Seele.
Good. All these things. Okay. So for very important, Socrates maintained that people that people formed not only understanding and their body, but also their conscience and their soul. So these are all four direct objects from bildeten. Good. Let's go on to the next one. Man nannte ihn einen Philosophen, Freund der Weisheit. Everybody?
Man nannte ihn einen Philosophen, Freund der Weisheit.
Where's the verb?
Nannten.
Good. So it means they named, and what's the subject?
Man.
Good. Man is automatically the subject, and direct object?
Ihn.
Good. So one named him or called him, and translate the sentence.
One named him a philosopher or a friend of wisdom.
And this is actually a double accusative. One named him a philosopher. So these are both in the accusative. Good. Then going on, you're doing splendidly. Wie andere Wie andere versuchte Sokrates den Ursprung der Dinge zu erklären. Everybody?
Wie andere versuchte Sokrates den Ursprung der Dinge zu erklären,
Die Wahrheit zu ergründen und richtiges Denken zu lehren.
die Wahrheit zu ergründen und richtiges Denken zu lehren.
Okay. Let's see. Now, where's the verb up to the comma?
Versuchte.
Good. And how would you translate that with a pronoun?
They, he sought.
Yeah, this is singular, third person singular. So he tried or he sought. In this context, it sounds better. And what's the subject?
Socrates.
Yeah. So Socrates sought, and you translate this as others, i.e., other people. Socrates sought, and then where's it complement or infinitive?
Zu erklären.
Great, great. To explain, and the direct objects are, or is, I should say.
Den Ursprung.
Good. So, and what gender is Ursprung, and how can you tell?
It's masculine because it's in the accusative since it's a direct object, and the definite article is den.
Yeah, with the definite article tells you. This is unusual because UNG words are normally feminine. This is an exception. Okay. And then zu ergründen is go on. Die Wahrheit zu ergründen. I think we already did this. So what's the so he sought, and then you have these further complementary infinitives zu ergründen und zu lehren. How do you translate those? He sought to.
To establish and to teach.
Good. So as to establish the truth, die Wahrheit is the direct object, and to teach what?
Thinking, proper thinking.
Proper thinking. Good. This is an infinitive made into a noun, so we translate that as a gerund ing word, and proper thinking. So you want to do the whole thing? Wie andere?
Sure.
And I'm hoping and I'm thinking that everybody who's listening, having taken apart and analyzed this, you can also translate at the same time with Daniela. Go ahead.
Like others, Socrates sought to explain the origin of things, to establish the truth, and to teach proper thinking.
Good, good. Don't go too fast so we can enjoy and relish these nice constructions. Okay, let's do the next one. Er gab selbst ein Vorbild. Go ahead.
Gab selbst ein Vorbild.
Als man ihn in hohem Alter noch anklagte, die Jugend durch falsche Lehren verführt zu haben. Everybody?
Als man ihn im hohen Alter noch anklagte, die Jugend durch falsche Lehren verführt zu haben.
Good. That's good. This durch is a sort of a, it's a sort of a guttural at the end. Durch, it's a soft guttural. Durch, false, falsche. Okay, so let's go up to here, and from here to here, can you see the markings on the page?
Yes.
So where's the verb in the first sentence?
Gab.
Good, good. And subject is er. What's the direct object? Sort of.
Ein Vorbild.
Yeah, he gave, this is himself. So he gave himself sort of as a double accusative. He gave himself as an example. He gave himself as an example. And then the verb in the next, after the colon.
Anklagte.
So they accused. So as one accused. So this is singular. Accused to do what? Where's the complementary infinitive? So he accused the youth. Go ahead.
Verführt zu haben.
Good. Here's your sort of complementary infinitive to anklagte. So as one accused him, ihn, still, or still accused him. You know, they accused him earlier, and now they're still accusing him in his older age, in his old age. To have what? And here you have a complementary infinitive. To have what? How does that work?
To have seduced.
To have seduced, and the direct object is?
Die Jugend.
Die Jugend, the youth. Keep going.
Through false doctrines.
Yeah, through false doctrines. Or you can even say lehren is actually to teach. So you can translate this as a gerund, through false teaching. So to have seduced the youth through false teaching. Um, haben, wollte er lieber. So you want to translate this als Mann up to this point here, please?
Yeah, sure.
Als Mann.
So as one accused him still in his old age, to have seduced the youth through false doctrines.
Okay. Wollte er lieber schuldig gesprochen werden, als das, was er für wahr hielt, zu widerrufen.
Wollte er lieber schuldig gesprochen werden als das, was er für wahr hielt, zu widerrufen.
Was er für wahr hielt, zu widerrufen. So good. So now this is one of these complicated sentences. So as one accused him still again or in old age to have seduced the youth through false teachings or through false teaching. He wanted lieber is the preference, right? He preferred. He wanted preferably, or you could say he preferred to do what?
Where is it? To
And this is werden gesprochen, to be spoken about or to be referred to as guilt in a guilty way or schuldig, than als. So if you have a this is a comparison als. So these two you should recognize, lieber als. So he preferred something rather than something else. So he wanted his preference was to be referred to as guilty rather than, and then you have to go to the infinitive here. How would this be? Rather than
to recant.
To recant that, and here's the direct object. As I said, this is a complicated sentence because if you follow these steps, you should be able to get to the point where you understand how it's constructed. So he preferred this rather than to recant that, and then go on.
That which he held for truthful.
Exactly, yeah. So the das, and here's the was, what he, and this antecedent is das, that which he held for true or truthful. Okay, you want to do the whole thing from als Mann?
Sure. As one accused him still in his old age to have seduced the youth through false doctrines.
Slow down a little bit.
He wanted preferably to be referred to as guilty rather than to recant that which he held for truthful.
Great, fantastic. Okay, let's go on with the next sentence because we're already at 13 minutes. Wurde 399 vor Christus zum Tode verurteilt. Go ahead.
Wurde 399 vor Christus zum Tode verurteilt.
Und soll ganz gelassen den Giftbecher mit dem in Athen die Todesurteile vollstreckt wurden, ausgetrunken haben. It's kind of funny to have that at the end, to have drunk entirely. Okay, so let's see. How about up to the und? Where's the verb complex?
Wurde verurteilt.
Yeah, let me get rid of some of these other markings here. Okay, so from here, so here, so he was condemned in 333 BCE to death. And where's the full verb complex with soul after the und?
Soll ausgetrunken haben.
Great. So sometimes when you're looking for the verb complex, remember that you can have a subordinate clause sandwiched in between there, which exactly you have here. So one might think, oh, let's take a look at this verb. This must be part of the verb complex, but it's not because it's demarcated as a subordinate clause. So it's sort of, uh, so bracket that out for a moment and you have to go all the way down to here. So soll ausgetrunken haben means literally he should have drunk completely, or um, or the subjective sense of the modal auxiliary, which is deliberative or hypothetical, said, and you could translate it more properly, and is said to have drunk completely. Um, and then what the this is a direct object. The the cup of
The
poison,
poison cup.
and then here is adverb, quite in a quite calm manner, very calmly. Okay, and then to have drunk the 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 cup of poison, and then this explains what this gift back here is. Just you want to translate that one? And what does dame
Uh,
refer back to?
um,
Right back
the
there.
cup.
Yeah, to the cup of poison, with which, and translate that one, with which.
With which in Athens the death sentences were executed.
Yeah, or were carried out. Good. With which, with this cup of poison, with which in Athens, and then here's your subject, the death sentences were carried out. Okay, so a long sentence. You want to do the whole thing from Erwürde?
Sure. He was condemned to death in 399 BCE and is said to have drunk entirely, quite calmly, the poison cup with which the death sentences were carried out in Athens.
Much smoother than I did it. That's very nicely done. Okay, great. So thanks so much. And this has been a nice excursion in the fourth section. And we have one more section coming up, which will be tomorrow. Hope you tune in then, and take care. Bye-bye.